tiny bit more. Just are we the same height now?
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Masood's taller.
Yeah, we proceed on with this.
Great.
How are you feeling there, Steve?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, it wasn't his best performance. A few mistakes that we need to go back and correct. But overall, he was fighting an undefeated opponent, 3-0, very good international amateur, you know, boxed the likes of Gamal Yafai and those type of guys. So experienced in the amateur scene, far more experienced than he was. And I think he made a few mistakes. He tried to get him out of there instead of working and to set up to get him out of there. And I think that left him open. He got countered a little bit because of that. But
Everything.
yeah, exactly. But overall, you know, he did the job. Tough guy. He got the win. We'll go back to the drawing board, have a look at what went wrong, and come back and be better next time.
I mean, it's fair to say, like, Mas, you're always very critical of yourself after your fights. And and I don't want this to be one of those where you're really overly critical as well, because at the end of the day, you still got the win. This was your toughest contest yet. It was your first 8-rounder as well at a new weight. This was all a test to see how you're going to be feeling at the new weight. How are you feeling?
I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to do interviews after fights. Like, just because I kicked my own ass really bad, and then in a couple of days I'm like, you know what, I actually did this all right, did this all right.
Yeah.
I felt okay at the weight. My legs were a little bit zapped, but again, throughout the entire camp, I just didn't feel like myself. I don't feel like I recovered from Ramadan, but it's tough to go back to the drawing board, focus, maybe take a break, because I haven't had the proper break yet. But yeah.
Steve, what do you think about Masood at this weight?
I don't know. I mean, he said he felt okay. I think maybe like if he did feel a little bit zapped, rather than it necessarily being the weight, he was trying to commit big shots from a little bit too far out, and that takes energy. Like, and the guy was relatively tough. Like, he wasn't the type of guy you hit him with one shot and he was gone. Like, he knew how to defend himself. He knew how to counter. So he was spending energy, and then he was getting hit on the counter.
Yeah.
That takes it out of you. But like I said, it's a learning fight, and he's an experienced guy. This guy's it's his 5th fight. And he's fighting a guy who's 3-0, experienced international amateur. Like I said, you know, a lot of guys who are this early in his career aren't fighting those types of guys yet. So he shouldn't be that hard on himself, you know. He got the win, like I said, and it's just go back and have a look at it. Ramadan was hard. It took a long time for him to rebound, but who knows? The way he might still be good at super bantam. We'll have a look at it and we'll review. We'll speak to his nutritionist and stuff as well, and then we'll come back and have a look.
I mean, Mas, you said that you wanted to push on for titles. This was obviously a step up and in that direction. What are your thoughts? Are you thinking you'd like a title fight as soon as possible, or kind of get a couple more super bantam fights in there, get the rounds in?
I say, let me get one more test at super bantam, see how I feel. I gave it a go the first time, maybe second time will be better. Again, I'll go back to my coach, see what we have to do, and then test that one more time. And if we don't feel great, go back up.
And the thing with that as well is he's ranked 14th in the country at featherweight, not at super bantamweight. So he could still go and fight for 7 area at featherweight. That's not a problem. So yeah, I mean, it's not. This fight was a testing ground for us. Like I said in the interview with you before, never done super bantam. He hasn't done 8 rounds. It's a testing ground, and we came down and we tested it. And it doesn't mean we won't go there again. And it doesn't mean that I don't know what I just said, but it doesn't mean we won't go there again. But at this point in time, we're not going to 100% say, yes, you're fighting a super bantam. He's very comfortable at feather. We know he has his strength at featherweight. We know he has his legs and his engine at featherweight. He can do, I say both. He can maybe do super bantam. He can definitely do feather, and he can do super feather as well. So he's got the ways to play around with. It's just going back, having a look at it. Obviously, we're testing waters again. There's title fights at featherweight if he doesn't do super bantam. So yeah, look, there's mistakes, but it's a learning fight, and you need those. Blasting people out in 2-3 rounds. When you come to a title fight and you've got someone who knows what they're doing, those are the types of fights that are going to help you, not the ones where you just get rid of some journeyman in 2 rounds. So.
For the sake of Steve's legs, and also because there's other people waiting to interview you, Mas, what was the thing that you really enjoyed about that fight that you think you did well? Yes, you have to answer the question.
Just the last round where I saw I saw him get hurt, and I started pushing forward, and I was a little bit wild, but I should have hunted the body a little bit more. But the last round where my energy came up, and when you screamed at me, I went shit. I need to up the pace. But yeah, knowing that I have that little bounce back every once in a while.
My mum messaged me from Germany and said round 7 was a very good round. So shout out, Mumsy.
Thank you.
Guys, because I didn't get to do an introduction because these guys were messing around, this is Masood Abdullah and Steven Broughton for Into Boxing. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.